Good evening, everybody, and welcome back. Welcome back to another episode of Mr. Fred and Friends. First of all, I gotta say hi real quick. Paul Farrell, Bon Chick, Ryan Courtney. I gotta tell you, when I did my little snippet the other night, and I thanked all my viewers, I can't thank you guys enough. Getting hacked was it really sucked. And what's really cool is tonight. David Reaper Justin is back with me tonight, and he was who I was going to have on the show that night. And I could explain how I got hacked, but then I would look just dumber than I sound. But anyhow, David has agreed to be back on with me tonight too. And he's just a great guy, and I really appreciate it. And all you people that are jumping in right now, I have no words for that. I can't thank you guys enough. This is something I really enjoyed, and I actually enjoy your company. I know you guys are watching, and I take notes on who watches. And it's a shame most of them say Facebook, but Bill, my buddy, he kind of keeps tabs on who watches and everything like that. But we're just extremely grateful for you guys. Dennis, how are you doing, Dennis? I hope I pronounced your name correctly. Citron, Dennis Citron. I just, you guys are all terrific. And I just really appreciate it. This is something I really enjoy doing. Because, like I say, if we all work together, we make paintball bigger and better. So, whoever hacked me, I actually feel sorry for them. Was I hot? Yeah. But I still feel sorry for them that they have to be that jealous of all of us trying to do something to have a lot of fun and make paintball bigger, better, and have a good time doing it. That they have to put the wrench in it. So, but anyhow, I'm so glad that I'm back on, and I can't thank all of you enough. I've got a lot of people, just a tremendous amount of support when I got hacked, and I just want to thank you all very much for that. Okay. Now I'm going to give my shout outs real quick because then I want to get David out here because you guys know David Justin. I want to get him and Billy out here. And David is since I've got David to come out of his shell, the guy is funny. He is extremely entertaining, and I was extremely lucky to sit alongside of this guy at an event that was down in San Luis Obispo. And it was terrific. It really was. The guy is tall, though. You don't notice it when he's sitting in a chair. But the guy's about 7'12". I mean, I guess I would make him 8'12". But he's a tall guy. He really is. I was sitting there talking to him. I thought I was standing in a hole. So, but anyhow, he's a great guy. You guys are going to absolutely enjoy this tonight. And I want to thank you so much for standing tall with me. A lot of you that are checking in right now really sent a lot of cool messages after I got hacked, and you'll never know how much I appreciate that. It's very cool. Anyhow, give my shout outs real quick so I can bring Dave and Billy out here. Tim Schloss, Gateway Paintball. Okay, Tim had Tiger Stripe camouflage back in the day. Has Gateway Paintball, where we just finished the WCPL a week or so ago. A lot of fun, great time, love it. Really do. Dan and John Colby, Immortal Air. They've been my sponsors for like 32 years. Started out Air America, now Immortal Air. Great guys. Mr. Bud Orr, War Game Products. Bud, very close friend of mine. Actually, all these guys are pretty close friends of mine. But I got to tell you that Bud's a great guy. He's been standing tall with me all this time. I absolutely love him. Terrific guy. And I want to mention people that I can actually see their names come up. Sam Silverback Moyers. Sam, thank you so much for watching tonight, buddy. I most of them come up Facebook user, and obviously I don't know who Facebook user would actually be. But when we get Bill on, we'll maybe ask him for a few of those. But I appreciate you guys very much. And then Tom K, Airgun Designs, was my market sponsor for years and years. Rainey and Julie Boucher, Paintball News. Randy Camilla, APG, editor for APG, actually gave me my very first cover shot on a magazine. Terrific guy. And Dennis TB must be watching because someone said, hi, Dennis. Dennis, very, very cool guy. PBSL. Oh, I love PBSL. Everybody knows that. Big time. Great, great organization. And Jerry Braun. Jerry had Paintball Sport back in the day, and he has Paintball Sport Field in Newburgh, New York right now. Ross Alexander, Line SI. That was my first marker sponsor. I actually still have my first marker that I got to play my first tournament with. And I got to see Ross. Ross came to WCPL and hung out with us a couple weeks ago. Terrific seeing the guy. He's a great, great guy. Really is. And Jim Lively. Lively Productions, the Masters. I wish everybody nowadays could have got to play the Masters back in the day. The Masters and Jerry Braun's World Cup, those were the two you really wanted to attend. They were like family reunions. Absolute riot. Just great. And then Gino from Belkin. I mention Gino every week because Gino does a lot of stuff behind the scenes that, a lot of people don't really see what he does. Gino, he's a big shot. He's got a lot of stuff. He has a tremendous business. He does a lot of behind the scenes stuff for people that he just doesn't broadcast it. So I mention him every week. And then now I'm getting ready to go to the NXL World Cup here next week. And I'm actually looking forward to that because I am going to go there to hang out with the young guns. I'm going to have Mark Gong Jr. and Mark Gong are going to be there. And Scott and Graylin McDonald. I just cannot wait to go hang out with these guys. And then Bonchik is watching. I finally took 2 years, everybody. 2 years. I kept going, does anybody know Bonchik? And finally I got to meet her in St. Louis. And I got to tell you guys, it was a pleasure. It was worth the wait. It was worth the 2-year wait. She made me wait 2 years to meet her. But it was worth the wait. Terrific lady, a lot of fun, heck of a player. I'd give her 3 thumbs up if I had an extra arm. She is just absolutely terrific. Really, really is. So I gave my shout outs. We're going to talk a little paintball here with Bill Bailey and David Justin. So I'm going to start with Mr. Bill Bailey. What's going on, Billy?
Oh, not much. How's it going?
Going pretty good, man. Pretty good time in St. Louis, huh?
Still recuperating.
You know what? What's funny too is I played when I was there. I played 8 games that day, and for some reason I gained weight. So I don't know how the rest of us we go to. We might have to change up a little bit. That's the first time. Usually I lose 5 to 10 pounds. I think I gained. Man, it was pretty cool.
Well, so there was some good food. There was some good food there.
No, there was too good of food. That's the problem.
Yeah.
And I'm an eatologist, so I gotta eat away. So, but Bonchik's watching us tonight. I had to mention her. What a terrific gal, huh?
Yep, she's pretty fun.
Oh my God, she's terrific. I am very, very glad that I have her for a friend. Now, I've got a guy I'm going to bring on, Bill, and this is the guy that we were actually going to have on the night we got hacked. Okay,
Incidents?
Well, you know what? I wasn't sure, so I thought we would try it again. But everything's just seemed to be rolling pretty good, man. We got live watchers right now. This is pretty cool. What can you say? And what can you say about the viewers? Oh my God!
Awesome.
And I don't say this just because they watch my show. That's immaterial. What they do is they're interested enough to watch it, to participate and to show other people out there that they care about paintball enough to listen to some of the new stuff that's going on. Like David's going to tell us stuff, I'm sure, that we don't know anything about. And I'm just looking forward to it. And the viewers, I love you guys. We got 20 live right now watching. And we haven't been on for 4 weeks.
Nope, it's going to be a good comeback.
And I absolutely missed it too, because you know what I miss these people.
Oh yeah,
I honestly do. It's weird, but it's very, very cool. I just absolutely love you guys. So without further ado, William, what do you say we bring on our guest tonight? I see him on the phone, so my guess he's talking to his agent. Because I think Dave, I know you're talking to your agent. He's going to give you $5 an hour. I
One
promise.
One second. No, Seabiscuit to win. Yes. And Matamar to prayer. Yeah, I've got it. Okay. Oh, you caught me again. I'm such a degenerate gambler that I'm betting on the past with my old phone. Seabiscuit.
I like that phone too. I got one like that in my car. It's not hooked up to anything, but I got it.
Your Model A?
You own a Batmobile?
Yes.
Oh, you guys been peeking.
Well, Merry Christmas to you. I'm glad. Oh, wait, the wrong show. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. I just look like Santa.
You do.
David, I got to tell you, buddy, I always enjoy talking to you. There's something about you. I'm not really sure. And really, I don't want to probe. But there's just something when we connect together, it's just fun. And people seem to really, really like it too. So, you got a certain charisma about you. I think it must be from watching my show or something. I'm not really sure how that worked. But
dude, you're. I don't know if I can live up to all these expectations. I mean, I was in the green room and you were bragging. So you were waxing poetically about me. I just don't know if I can live up. Yes, you got me out of my shell. I was one of those rare celebrities that couldn't intermingle with other people. Yes, and without you, I yes, thank you. Yes, now I feel
it's my pleasure, David. You're one of the good guys. I just David was going to be on my show the night that we got hacked, and I want to tell everybody real quick. David was good enough after we could not get on my show. David was good enough to pull it up on his show, and we still did the show afterwards. But I wanted my viewers to see David on there because a lot of people before the show were. Matter of fact, I put the tease out about the show 24 hours before the show, and we had like 3,000 views on it. Over 3,000 views on it to check it out.
That's fantastic.
And then we didn't do it. No, it's because of you. Believe it or not, more than your family likes you. Not a bunch more, but there is more.
Hi, Bon Chick. How are you? I've been able to meet her several times. She's an amazing girl, right?
Oh my God, David! I got to finally meet her, and I got to tell you, she's terrific, absolutely. And we got Ben Allen watching. Nebnilla, Ben Allen from up in Canada, one of the great guys. Matter of fact, I'm going to drag him on the show sometime. If you don't know him, David, you're going to want to meet him.
Oh, we've chatted. Listen, you have a lot of Facebook users. That's amazing. That's
all I've got is Facebook.
Why is that? Why is Boncheck so special that she doesn't get categorized as a Facebook user, but everybody else does? Well, you should find out what's up with Neb and with Boncheck because I don't know. It's crazy.
She's a hottie, and you should see her play paintball.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh, she rocks.
She's amazing. She is fantastic. Yes. Hi, Bonchick. Yes, that's a Christmas tree behind me, and that's a coffee shop. And yes, I know it's almost what is it? It's almost Thanksgiving. We haven't done Christmas. Christmas is always in my head, so I just love it.
Yeah. So. Well, that's very cool. Yeah. I hear that you beg for presents at Thanksgiving too. Is that true?
I did what?
You begged for more presents at Thanksgiving.
Oh,
that's when you start your Christmas.
I don't have to beg. When you're rich, you don't have to beg. Yes, exactly. You just buy what you need. You don't have to beg. Exactly. So, listen. As far as the hacking is concerned, don't take it personally. I mean, I'm being completely serious now. I don't think it was just that they didn't like you and they would. It's just whatever happened, and it was random and whatever. Everybody gets hacked, and it sucks. And but it's like what they always say: it's not what happens to you; it's how you treat what happens to you.
Yeah. Well, you know what, David? I got to tell you, it was my own fault, and I'll be the very first to admit it. I got a text from a friend that I've had for like 40 years, and he goes, I just got a new phone, but he said, for some reason, I can't get the code from Facebook. Can Facebook send you the code and you give it to me? And this is an hour and a half before we did the show, David.
Right.
And I'm trying to hurry, and so I'm going, yeah, because I'm the first guy to jump in to help a friend, and I'm the first guy to look stupid, too. So I got the code. I sent them the code. Boom. Everything shut down. It was done. That was it. Yep.
That's it.
And I felt bad because everybody was wanting to see you that night on the show, and for you to come back on was terrific. I appreciate it.
Such a disappointment. But listen, anytime you get those messages like, hey, look at the pictures of us or all that kind of stuff,
Yep.
You
I'm
know,
done
I
with
just, yeah, I go, dude, you've been hacked. I'm out of here. Yeah. It's just too bad that we have to think like that, but what are you
It
going to
is.
do?
It's that's sad, isn't it? It absolutely is
Yeah,
sad.
it's not, it's not like back in our day, right? When we had big wheels and well, those kind of things. We just,
I still have mine.
you still have your big wheel?
Yeah, I did. I did say I had to make a larger version of it. So
Did
I mean,
you,
the pedals are huge, but
do you have one of these?
a small Etch a Sketch.
Look
No,
how
I've got
small that is,
I've got
right?
the big one. Yeah.
No, it
No,
just
it's
looks
just
small. I mean, put your
his hands
glasses
are
on.
that big.
Put your glasses on; it'll get bigger. Yes, exactly. Just like exactly. All right. Hey, I saw a Walmart greeter today. I thought about you. I'm sorry. Did I say that out loud?
Oh,
Oh
no,
my
it's no
God.
problem. It's no
Oh my
problem.
God.
No. I actually like that job. I do.
Yeah,
Come in,
seriously,
spend
right?
some money so I can get paid. It's
Yeah,
all
right.
it's all for
Hello,
me.
how are
Yeah.
you? Hello, welcome. Like, yeah, exactly. That's fantastic. Yeah, yeah,
Wow.
not a lot of
Wow,
work.
you said it better than I did. Can I use that?
Anyway, listen.
No, I'm
I also
listening. I
appreciate the
constantly
fact.
listen.
I also appreciate the fact that you're letting your hair grow out too. You're looking very good. Look at that, you guys. Come on, is that amazing or what? Right? If you
When I
haven't,
started paintball, I had long hair.
because brother, I think that you're a shower, not a grower. You know what I'm talking about? So I think
Yeah.
that, yeah.
Yeah,
Come
I'm a
on.
driver. I'm not a mechanic.
What the fuck did you just say?
I said I'm a driver, not a mechanic. That's
I don't
why.
understand
That's
that.
why I'm a mouthpiece. I mean, I love talking. The people that watch us, these people are so cool. I wish I could just have them all in an audience right here in front of me. Although it would be crowded, we'd probably have to take turns breathing. But
No,
other than that, it would be
I agree.
terrific.
And you know what the really cool thing is? You and I both have a show when we can actually go out and meet these people too, and hang out and say hello. And you've been in the media. You actually, if I know I'm preaching to the choir here, but Fred's been around since the beginning of time. I'm paintball, and what happened was is that he's actually he's done everything. He's been on everything, and he's been a celebrity for a super long time. The thing is, though, a lot of times, I'm just going to say the arc from like 1982 until whenever. You've seen people come and go. They come in. I think they're the hottest thing in paintball, or this and everything. And then people like, oh, they're the flavor of the month, and they give them, the parks give them attention and whatever. Then they burn themselves out. Or the problem is that a lot of these people, they don't have it in their heart, and you do. You have paintball in your heart. And so when you meet these people, and I've seen you guys, ladies and gentlemen, I've seen him in person, and I've seen him like shake hands and hug babies and stuff. It's in his heart. This is all. That's why he keeps on saying that when his show crashed, he was in tears, because this is his thing. You guys are his thing. This is like his life.
I love it.
I just really appreciate you, my friend.
Wow, that was.
Wait. Hang on a second.
I didn't even know what to say.
Wait, my PayPal. Oh yeah, I came in. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Bill, what do you think of this guy? Now, be nice. Be nice.
Bill, come on, stop it.
Well, hang on.
Bill, why don't you sit down?
I haven't got anything for PayPal, Dave. So
I don't think we've ever met in person, right, Bill?
No, we haven't met in person. No.
Dave, I put Bill on my show after I actually started doing the show. Bill was on my show for a year before I got to meet him face to face and shake his hand.
Are you serious? That's fantastic.
Serious, yeah. I was excited as hell. Like when I went down to San Luis Obispo, I was excited as hell because I knew I was going to finally get to meet you. Because when I started doing all this, everybody goes, "Oh man, you got to meet the Reaper. He's just a cool guy." And I go, "Yeah, that's right." And they go, "Yeah, you're going to like him, Fred. He's your kind of guy." And I go, "Oh no, not another crazy person."
No, right.
That. Yeah, well, they were right too. So,
and the other thing is, and this is, again, I'm being completely honest with you. We go out, you and I, and whoever, Wolf, or all these people, we go out and we do what we're supposed to. We do it our thing, and a lot of times people get disappointed when they meet their heroes, or whatever, and they're like, oh, this guy was a dick or whatever, or maybe they want you. And then all of a sudden, when we're not, we're just like, this is, whether it's me on the show or me in person, it's the same thing, and the same thing with you. And that's what's cool about it, is we're not putting on a front. You know what I'm saying? We're not like,
Yep.
You
That's
know,
what Bud Orr always says too. He says, when I talk to you, because Bud and I go back 30 some years.
right.
We've done a lot of events together too. And I never change up. I never try to be anybody I'm not, period. And this is just me. When you talk to me in person, when you talk to me on the screen, when you talk to me on the phone, nothing changes.
Right.
So I don't have to be somebody else.
No,
And
100%.
and you know what, Dave, just like yourself, what actually got me popular, and people always ask me, Marcus Davis, the captain of the Predators years ago, we were sitting by the table by the swimming pool at some hotel. I don't remember where the hell it was. And he asked me, he goes, I want to be the Fred Schultz of England. What does it take to do that? And I told him, I said, you know what? There's no secret. I mean, there's no secret to it. I said, be nice to people. Treat people like you want to be treated.
Right.
And for some reason, it just grows on everybody. And that's what makes you popular. I got my first cover shot, David, because I went and did a Ronald McDonald's house. I did 3 of them. And at the third Ronald McDonald House giveaway or charity thing, I was down there playing paintball. And Randy Camilla, which I didn't know at the time, he was the editor for APG. He come up to me and he asked me, he goes, who's your sponsor? I'm going, well, I have no sponsor. I'm down here playing paintball, raising money for the Ronald McDonald House. And that's what started everything, was that right there. And I would shake everybody's hand, all the kids. I'd talk to anybody.
Right.
You want to talk paintball? Come up to me. Let's talk, baby. I love it.
I agree 100%. I see a lot of times too, when people, how do I say that? I've seen people get into our sport and they fall in love with it or whatever they're doing. But then they also see of it like, this is my opportunity to become somebody and whatever like that. And they burn a lot of bridges. They hurt a lot of people. And the problem with a lot of that stuff is that it gives paintball a black eye a lot of times. And people are, people are in it for their own good and whatever else. When you or I or another person in the
Bill's the same way. Billy's the same way.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, listen. The thing is, though, and I think it might be our age, and I'm not joking about the age this time. I'm just saying our age, our generation, or something. We're not into that instant gratification of like, I've got to hurry up and become a celebrity. I got to do this. I got to do that. We just came in it like we are ourselves, and if things happen, they happen. And that's the funny thing about this. A lot of times is people go, "What's the secret? What's the matrix? Give me a spreadsheet on how to become famous." And it's like, it doesn't really work that way. I mean, it's like, just be yourself, and if things happen, they happen, and be nice. And I think that because in paintball, it's such a testosterone-based, 99% of our players are guys, and we're like, fuck you, I'm going to beat you up kind of thing. And you and I are coming in and just like, hey, like here's my heart. You know what I'm saying? Just that's on my sleeve.
Yeah, absolutely right.
We don't know any better.
Back in the day too, and there was all the so-called pros, because we were all pros. I mean, I had my team and the Ironman, all this stuff, but there was a lot of guys that they considered themselves pro, and I'd see the kids come up to talk to them, and they wouldn't have the time of day for them. They wouldn't give them nothing. They wouldn't talk to them.
Right.
It's like they were just over and above them.
Right.
And you don't hear about any of those guys anymore. I mean, those guys evaporated right away. They had their 15 minutes of fame, and then they were back down, doing whatever they do, but they weren't playing paintball. And to me, whenever I would see that back in the day, that would bug the hell out of me, because I'm thinking, you can't take 2 minutes to talk to this kid, shake his hand, make him feel like somebody. I always felt good when somebody that I knew that I felt was better than myself would take a little bit of time just to talk to me for a minute, shake my hand or something like that. It made me feel good the rest of the day, all the time, and that's one thing I always like to pass along and still do. I still love the crap out of that, man. I love meeting new people. Yeah. It's just cool. And you do the same thing, and so does Billy. Yeah. Billy does the same thing up there too. Billy, you talk too much, though.
I know. Next time,
Dave and I can't get a word in edgewise. What's going on?
Seriously, next time he's going to get a speaking part, right? Exactly.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to have to mute his mic. I think. I think that's the only thing we can do.
Did you mute him or what? I don't. What's going on with that?
No, he wanted to do sign language tonight, and I told him, I said, "Well, go ahead, give it a shot." But now he's shy. I guess his rotator cuff is too bad to talk. So I'm not sure.
You're from Minnesota. Where are you from?
Pretty close.
What?
Missouri.
whatever. One of those M states, right? Exactly.
Yeah.
See, I think though that I think it's inherent in him that a lot of times people from Missouri, I'm just joking, from wherever you're from, there a lot of them are and he's actually a very good example, very humble, right? Very nice guy, very humble. He's just he's not looking for a flash, and because of that, I think that's why he's not talking a lot, because he's just too like he doesn't have the need like see, you guys don't understand that like Fred and our like Fred and my both of our fathers left us at an early age, and it left a hole in our heart, and we've been constantly been trying to fill that hole by please like us, right?
Yeah. I mean, I seen the shirt that you had too. I like that shirt. Please like me. I want to be your friend.
Right.
I want to get one of those too. I think that was pretty cool. What would you like a shirt like that, Bill? Please like me. I want to be your friend.
Like me, I want to be.
Yeah, it's got a really cool shadow picture of David on the sleeve. I love it.
Actually, look at this is Make Your Own Tracks. This is one of my sponsors. I wear
very
that on
cool.
my sleeve. They're a fantastic sponsor. That's the other thing too in our sport is that there's not a lot of money in our sport. I'll just put it to you that way. If this is not a sport you should get into unless you're going to be like even if you're at like Ryan Greenspan's level of competition, he still has to work as well. You know what I'm saying? So there's not a lot of money. So even like I have over 500 sponsors, but I have beer companies and cola company and everything like that. But I went out and got them. I do have some paintball sponsors. Some actually, GI Sports is one of my biggest ones. But other than that, I never looked at it as a money grab. I always looked at it as kind of just like, if I can bring in a Santa Monica brew company, a beer company into our sport, and then they can promote our sport through their thing, and then it's basically they
agree.
give me beer, and when I'm doing local events, I bring the beer to the local events and give it out. So they're getting all this free publicity. All the players are getting beer. Everybody wins. So if you guys are thinking about, it
that's
doesn't
a
have
win-win.
to be, you don't have to be sponsored by Valken or GI Sports or HK you don't need that. Just
when we were in San Luis Obispo too, you were sponsored by a tequila company.
a tequila. It was actually Critical Paintball. John Paul, who owns Critical Paintball, they branched out also, and they started a tequila company. And thank God that Fred was there, because I was giving it out to all ages. And
yeah. Man, that 11-year-old, he staggered away. He loved it though.
Yes, it was like I thought it was his communion or something. Is that what
he was so funny, David? You're my favorite. I like that. That was pretty good.
Yeah. Well, his parents were happy. He was quiet for a while, but but yeah, I do have a couple hard alcohol companies as sponsors, and I do. I travel all over the world with these things. Take them with me, and let the players try them. And again, you're getting into the players' hands. I'm not charging the players. I'm not charging people to do this. They're just giving it to me, and everybody wins. So
it is. And you know what it does is it actually, believe it or not, makes paintball bigger and better, because what you're doing is you're bringing in outside sponsors. Not something that is dedicated to the sport, but something that wants to be involved in the sport.
100%, right?
Yep, absolutely. Yep.
So the next thing is we have a Warrior energy drink. We just got them as a sponsor, and now they've come out with their own water too. They're part paintball and part just regular, but basically what it is to have them come in to give me the products to go out and like on the weekend shows that I go do these things, and everybody gets to try it. Well, they're also getting an honest opinion, because sometimes people go, "This is shit," and I tell them, I say, "Listen, whatever." So it's just
that's a good way of
I
putting
didn't make it.
I like that comeback. I'm going to remember that. Whatever. It was good.
I didn't make it. So
Bill, can you remember that for me? Right on.
Make a shirt.
Make a shirt.
What is Mr. Michigan? Where you from? Maryland? What'd you say? Where'd you say you're from?
Missouri.
Missouri, right? Exactly right. One of those M states. What's your shirt say?
It doesn't say nothing. You got to read it.
Make paintball great again. Okay. Yeah. Well, listen. There was a big controversy a while ago when everybody was saying grow the sport. people were like, oh, stop, grow the ass. Like what a mess that was. Again, it started with a kind of an innocence, and then there's a lot of times haters that get involved, and they go, they would take paintballs and put them in the ground and water them. Look, we're growing the sport, like this,
Yep.
The thing is, though, this sport has been around since '82. We've got people like Fred who just said, I fell in love with this. How can I make this, this a bigger thing? I want to ask you though, Fred, when you did it back in the day, you did Disney and CNN and you were at you were like just everywhere. I mean, if you guys don't know the history, go check out what Fred did. And then there was like a lull, and then around like 2008, when I started playing for the first time, there was like another kind of spike, and that's I think when social media was kind of just starting to spike. Where do you think it is now? Do you think that do you think COVID destroyed a lot of things, or do you think that we have another spike coming of popularity and everything?
Well, I think the COVID thing, it was like a twofold thing. Did it hurt us going out to play paintball? Absolutely. But did it also give us more of a forum to do shows and podcasts like we're doing right now to talk about paintball, And so a lot of people, were kind of house ridden, I will say, and they had nothing else to do. They'd turn on the podcast and, just like me, I listen to you. I listen to Billy, when Billy talks. I have never thought that I knew absolutely everything, and I still don't to this day. A smart person listens a lot more than he talks, and that's how you learn.
Right.
And and I think that it's starting to. I think paintball is getting better. I do. Okay. And the reason is, believe it or not, this is going to be funny. But I grew my hair because my wife likes my hair. I like long hair. I always have. Okay, very simple. But what is funny is the younger generation has taken to me so much more because of the hair. It's like I'm not an establishment-looking person again,
right. Right.
And so that made me feel pretty good actually, because the young guys. That's why I mentioned these guys at the beginning of the show, David. The people I mentioned back in the day when paintball started. Paintball was extremely hard to sell. I mean, when I did a show at MGM Disney, that was a 9-month thing to sell that show.
Wow, really?
9 months. Yep. And and the people, I always got a lot of heat. They're going, well, why did you put me on it? And I says, because when I was talking about doing a show on ESPN at MGM Disney, you go, oh, take a hike. That'll never happen. But the guys that said, you know what, Freddie, good luck. It's going to be tough, but good luck. Everyone that said that, they were on that show. All my sponsors were on it. And my friends, they were all on it. The same way when I did the MTV show. I had guys that they just, they believed, they believed enough in me to not to ridicule me, but just to wish me good luck. They didn't have to help.
Right.
They just, didn't have to get in my face about it. Like Keith Kissel, I see Keith watching right now, and Keith has been a friend of mine. I got him in paintball years ago.
Wow.
Because I shot somebody's house. This is when paintball first started. Yeah. we had Splat Masters, and we were out there talking one day, and I shot it across the street, and it hit somebody's house. And then now he was hooked for 30 some years. But
that is so cool.
Yeah, Keith Kissel is a very good friend of mine, and Keith Kissel is the one that actually got me back into paintball again, David.
Really?
Because I dropped out of paintball, because when I was doing it, I just had a million things going, and it was like I was under the glass window all the time, and it just was no fun. And so I got my gold claim up here in California. So I actually I rolled my tractor over it, and I didn't roll it on me, but I broke some ribs and I got banged up. So I had to take time off of traveling, because I traveled like 3 weeks out of every month for paintball. I was gone.
Right.
So I just laid around and I healed up, and my buddy goes, let's go up and look for gold. We started doing that. Next thing I know, I'm like 18 years down the road.
Wow.
Yep. And then this friend of mine, Keith Kissel, came up and he goes, I have a friend named Freddy the Ref. His name is Freddy Valente.
Right.
And he goes, he has a podcast, and I'm like, what's a podcast? I don't know what that is,
Right.
And
Right.
he goes, well, it's on the internet. And he goes,
What's
it's
the
like a
internet?
show on the internet. Yeah, pretty much that, David. And he
When?
goes, it's a show on the internet. So I said, nobody's going to care. I said, I've been out of it forever, man. I says, I'm yesterday's news and I understand that and I can live with that. It is what it is. And he goes, well, do it as a friend to me. Come on for 15 minutes, period.
Right.
So, the minute he says as a friend, I had to do it. And so now I'm thinking, I go up there to do this, Dave, and I'm thinking, I'm going to go up there and I'm probably going to look like a big fool. People are going to go, who the hell is this? Why the hell is he on here? And anyhow, that 15 minutes turned into an hour and a half. And after we did the show, the next day, Freddie Valenti called me up. He goes, you got to do it again. He goes, my phone has been blowing up. He goes, everybody wants to talk to you. And that's what started it. And then I've been on ever since then, except the last 4 weeks when I got hacked.
Well, you know what's interesting? If you want to compare maybe our world to, let's say the yes, okay. So I'm here in LA. I was born and raised here. I have never been really involved in the entertainment industry other than just doing stand up, but just for fun. So I didn't come here from Minneapolis. Where are you from? Where are you from there?
Wisconsin.
Yeah, Wisconsin, whatever. Anyway,
we were side by side.
I'm running out of M states anyway. So I didn't come here. I didn't come to Los Angeles to become famous. I've already I just live here. So the same thing in our world, in our paintball world, we did this thing. We became famous, I guess you could say. Here's the thing though. There's in Hollywood, there's this called a zeitgeist. When you're in a person's a conscience, you do a good job, you tend to stay there. I'll give you a name like Julia Roberts, right? When was the last time you saw her in a movie?
Yeah.
But to a lot of people, she's still a superstar. She's still something, right? Even if Brad Pitt or Tom Hanks didn't make a movie for like 10 years, they're still Brad Pitt and Tom Hanks because we've adopted them into our brain. Well, basically, you're the same thing. You've been in our sport from the very beginning. And everybody knows who Fred Schultz is. And even though you took a hiatus and then you came back, look at the show. Look at all these people. You're Fred Schultz. So you might have thought, well, I'll just do this for 15 minutes and nobody's gonna. It doesn't work that way. You're a goat. You've already created this greatest of all time thing in people's heads. Nobody's really died in our sport that doesn't know about you. Everybody knows who you are, from Dan Colby to Bob. Everybody. So the thing is, though, when you decided to take a hiatus and you thought, I'm going to come back, but no one knows. Everybody knows who you are. You're a legend.
So I appreciate that.
What I'm saying is that you get to a certain point in our sport. If Ryan Greenspan stopped playing for 5 years, he'd still be Ryan Greenspan, right? There'd still be Ollie Lang. There'd still be
absolutely right.
Yeah. So certain people get to a certain point where they're just in the zeitgeist, in their in that person. So you've done that.
I appreciate that.
You've created a thing for yourself. And
do you know Jessica Cortez from Hollywood? From Hawaii.
We've talked, I think, a couple of times. Hi, Jessica. I think we talked either on my show or your show or something. But
yeah, I think it was on my show. Yeah, she's a terrific girl. She's watching from Hawaii. So, we got people watching us from quite a few places right now. That's pretty cool. See, David, you're a draw. You're a draw, man.
I must be famous. That's it. Yeah, exactly. Right. Exactly.
You are. Well, that's like me. I'm a legend in my own mind.
Listen. You know what I heard? I heard though. This is weird, and this is another one of those funky things about our sport.
Hang on, bro.
Back in whatever when it was, there was this big thing about e-celebrities, right? Electronic e-celebrities, and it was like a put down. If people were trying to do something with me or Wolf or whatever, we were called e-celebrities because we just we hung out in the parking lot. We didn't play that whatever. And people that knew me knew that really wasn't me. I would go out in the parking lot and do pictures and shit. But as far as the game, I loved it so much that I fell in love with this thing. So when this celebrity thing happens or this whatever, I heard this guy talking the other day on a podcast, and they were all talking about e-celebs, whatever else. And then they jumped it and they said, but then there's also these famous people, and like they put my name in that hat. So then I jumped and I'm like, you know what? That's pretty interesting. That there's these people fighting for like, crumbs. I'm going to be an e-celeb, and then these people that are already in their zeitgeist of like, no, he's already famous. Just that's just how it works. If you don't if you don't fuck up things or do anything bad or get kicked out of our sport or whatever, just keep on plowing forward. Take whatever we have, you and I, and run with this thing and say, listen, we're here to help. If like a kid wanted me to be his when I was his kid's Make-A-Wish, Ryan Greenspan and I were this kid's Make-A-Wish, right? Say yes. Everything comes along, just say yes. Cancer Foundation, say yes. Multiple sclerosis, whatever it is.
All of those.
If you can use us to better your visibility, I'm in. Just where do I sign? That's all.
Real quick, now that you mention that, there's one coming up the 11th of December that I'm coming down to. Bud Orr and I are going to go to, and I'm sure you're going to be there for Lilith.
For Lil's on December, right?
December 11th.
Oh, so you're going to be there.
I'm going to be there, and Bud's going to be there. Yeah, we're going down there together, and we know you're going to be there.
I'm going to be there. I'm on the poster. I have to be there, right? So exactly, but you know what?
No. I'm not talking about the modern ghetto poster. I'm talking about.
That's very funny. Listen, if you guys don't know what we're talking about, because Lynn's going to have do a show with me as well. Every year, Lynn does a charity event. She picks a charity and she does one, and to actually look at Dennis is going to be down there too. That's fantastic.
Dennis is a great guy.
Dennis,
talk about Dennis B.
Yeah, Dennis Citron.
Yeah.
So listen, the fact that someone like Lynn every year does this thing. This year, again, I think it's going to be the same one where it's for babies that were abandoned and then they have to bury them. And so then this Angel something, this lady has created this thing, and she's just doing this amazing stuff. If you can
see it,
that's it. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
that looks like
it's on flagpole. I can't show it because it just picks up.
That looks like something when you were on drugs and using crayons. That's what that looks like. Anyway, because I
still use crayons. There's nothing wrong with crayons.
I can't see that.
All right, nothing wrong with crayons.
But
so
anyway,
I sign my checks.
But yeah, so but look what Fred does. Fred lives up in past Northern California. Where do you live in Northern California?
No, Northern Missouri.
Right, Northern Missouri. So he comes out to games in Northern California. He comes out to games in San Luis Obispo, Central Coast, all the way down to this is almost by San Diego. This event here, and
past LA.
Yeah, it's amazing. But it's this game that Lynn throws is one of those old school games where just like people come out with stock guns, and it's a chance for everybody to get together, and you see people like the Hitmen. You see like just amazing.
Well, the clowns are going to be there.
Clowns, right?
Clowns are all going to be
there. Clowns
are
always there, right?
Stephen, my very good friend.
So it's going to be fantastic. This is, you know what? Are you going to bring your equipment so we can do a podcast?
I absolutely am. If I don't get hacked again.
How are you going to get hacked on the freeway driving down here? What the fuck?
I got to tell you, I didn't think I get hacked. Anyhow, I'll let that go. But
anyway,
listen, Jessica Cortez said real quick that the 11th is the day before her birthday. So let me be the first, because I know David would jump in if he's seen that. Let me be the first to wish you a happy birthday on December 11th, Jessica. Right on, David. Now you can say it.
You mean Graylin can bring his spider? It's too bad that all these Facebook users, right?
You know what? I think that's Scott McDonald's, and
I think
Graylin,
so too.
You know how, real quick story how I met this guy. Great guy, great kid. There was a giveaway for the Hermans, which is a spinoff of the Ironman. It's the kids group for the Ironman called the Hermans. Okay, so anyhow, I gave one of my headbands, my Hormesis headbands, to them to give away. Well, Scott McDonald won it. And so anyhow, I congratulated him. I texted and I says, congratulations for winning that, and Graylin, his son, wears it all the time. Every picture I see him, he's got it on. So anyhow, so I had to meet Scott. So I met Scott, and I just kind of connected with the guy. He's one of them guys that really loves his son and really works really hard and spends a lot of time, effort, and money to promote his son in paintball and to help him get better. And they're all going down to the World Cup now because there's 25 kids teams that are going to be at the NXL next week, and they're 16 and under. Okay, the oldest is 16. Period. So I'm going down there. I'm going to do some of the announcing. They got a big grab bag, a ton of stuff that I'm going to walk around and to give to different kids that I think deserve it. Call it the Captain Fred giveaway. It's going to be pretty cool. So I'm looking forward to that. But Graylin McDonald and Scott McDonald are two terrific people. I rank them right there with Mark Gong and Mark Gong Jr.
That's amazing. So. Yeah, it's amazing that I don't know if this is going to be the biggest amount of kids teams for the NXL this year.
It is. But it's the first, David. It's the first because they've never done it before, right, Billy?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, this is the first. This is the first time, and it started out. First of all, there was going to be like 12 teams, and then there was going to be like 15, and then it went up to 20. Now it's at 25, and there's and since I started with the Hermans, because I started with Mark Gong and Mark Gong Jr., they went out to play paintball because it was a birthday and Father's Day. So after they did it, I thought, well, hell, I'm going to put them on my show and talk about it, right? So Billy and I put them on the show. We talked about it. And next thing I know, they started the team, and it just kept rolling. And then Jennifer Montresor got a hold of me about their teams. So I put their teams on. We talked to them. Now I get all kinds of input of different teams across the U.S., kids teams now. I'm talking about young guns that want to be on the show and want to promote themselves. So I'm going down there to go ahead and do that a little bit when I'm down there.
That's amazing. Well, what I've seen, though, is when I meant that was that anybody can be a D5 team. You know what I'm saying? And then what happens is you'll see a bunch of sometimes kids out there as a D5, but they end up playing other D5s that are not kids, and it just beats them up. But so to have only kids out there now, what is is it 14?
No, 16's the cutoff. I think it's 8 to 16. Let me tell you something. I watched Mark Gong Jr. play, and Ryan Podesta's son too, Nico. You know Ryan Podesta, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. They all live up by me here. We all.
Yeah.
Anyhow, his son Nico. You have to see these kids play, David, to believe it. I mean, they'll go out and they will rip you a new butt.
Okay.
These kids can absolutely rock. And they're like this tall, Dave.
Right.
And they're fast and they are so accurate. And Mark and them and Michael Beard have worked with the Hermans to make these kids just top notch. And I can't wait for you to see them play. You'd be amazed. It's just like a miniature paintball player out there just kicking butt. You're like, oh my God, it's amazing.
What I was talking to Scott about was maybe we need to do some kind of charity event by you, maybe at Ryan's Field. We can do just some kind of
Playland.
Santa Claus or something, that kind of thing.
I'm in.
And, so
anytime
maybe if you can help us, because I think Scott is kind of busy. He's laying pipe. So look at Scott. Maybe you get the ball rolling. Anyway, so I'm thinking if you can maybe do something like that in December. I think Lynn's event is the second week of December. I'm not sure what it is. But if we can do something, maybe the first week or the third week or something like that, I think it'd be fantastic.
Well, we could. Another thing I'd like to do, would you like to do a Christmas show together?
Dude, dude, if you want to do a Hanukkah show, a Christmas show,
I'll do a Hanukkah show.
Whatever. I can do.
Because I know you're Jewish.
And you know what? Usually because we control the media, so I guess I can do anything I want, right?
Oh, you do. Oh, yeah. You guys own Hollywood. Yeah, you guys own the media.
We control Hollywood. Yeah. The other thing too is every time I don't know if you guys know this. Don't let the word out here, but
I don't know.
When I go to the bank, I get free money because we control the banks, right?
Well, you guys print it though.
No, we have a secret handshake, and I can't show you it, but anyway, we do have a secret handshake, and so it's all true. All the stuff that you guys think about the Jews, that we have horns and we control the media and banks and I get all my cable for free. Everything that you think is true about your superstition and Cain and West, whatever. It's all true. It's all true. I'm here to tell you it's all true. So now you can sleep at night. You don't have to go back on the internet and look for more truths.
Oh, no, I got a T-shirt that says, "I wish I was Jewish so I could be rich." I got a T-shirt that says that. Yeah, it goes all the way around. It's pretty cool.
That's not anti-Semitic at all.
No, exactly. It isn't. No. And you know what? And that's one thing. Nowadays, you and I joke around all the time. Thin-skinned people just bother me.
Well, you know what?
I'm Italian, and my friends always used to go, "Hey, Freddy, you're like a flat tire." He goes, "Wop, wop, wop." And it just, I would laugh. It just stuff like that. You like that? I seen you writing it down. Already.
You know what? I'm writing it down. You know why I like that? Because you and I, you're only 10 years older than me, so we basically kind of grew up in the same.
You mean you're only 29?
29. We
okay,
both
cool.
Basically Justin, star of David, Marissa's star. It's still listen. I think the thing is, though, you and I grew up in a time period where there was Polak jokes and Jewish jokes and Russian. Everybody had their their jokes kind of thing. Sometimes we didn't even know what the fuck we were talking about. We were just like telling another joke about something else.
Yeah.
But the thing is, though, nobody cared. Everybody was just like, that was how we busted each other's balls. That's how it was.
Yeah, it's absolutely right. Real quick, I want to mention Steve Presco here. Steve has the field down there in northern Florida. It's actually up in the Panhandle, and it's actually called Panhandle Paintball.
Oh, nice.
And they just joined the WCPL, so they're going to be the first event out next year. And I'm going to put Steve on the show sometime.
Nice. Very cool.
If you get a chance, David, you're going to want to talk to him. He's a terrific guy. He really, really is. And David's a good guy too. Bill don't think much of you, but I like you. So
I think that the reason you have Bill on the show is to counterbalance the pictures, right? So it's like looks like something's going on over there. Exactly.
Bill's my buddy, and I told Bill, I said, when I'm on with David, this is like hockey. Put your elbows up and get in here,
dude. You got to. I'm telling you, but listen, you're right. There's a lot of I don't know if the word is thin-skinned or something like that. That was the interesting thing to me that I loved about paintball as well. When we got into the sport, I was still able to bust balls and stuff like that. People are not, you could joke around, whatever. People are not like, oh, I'm politically offended. Well, then go someplace else. The same thing. Well, no, the same thing. Listen, I do stand-up, right? I've been doing stand-up since the early 90s. It's the last bastion of that kind of thing. If you go to a stand-up club and you see me and you go, I'm offended. Well, there's the door. You paid to come in to hear fun things, whatever else. If you don't agree with it, that maybe it's not your humor, but you don't go online and blast it and like, oh, David Justin's a racist.
Yeah, no, I'm not. That's absolutely, that's why the group I hang around with, I'll hang around with anybody, but my real close friends, like Bill and Tim Schloss and Bud Orr and Dan Colby and, all of these guys, we get together, we have a good time. There's no politically correct bones in any of us, but we're not out to offend anybody.
That's exactly.
We're just out to have a good time. And I like to laugh, David. I like to joke around. That's one of the reasons I like having you on here, I just like to joke. That's the only reason. Okay.
Exactly. I thought it was you just kept on, you like me poking about your age or something like that. Exactly.
Oh, no. Yeah. Everybody before the show goes, David, I know, he goes, Fred, I know why you got me on here because I'm better looking and you're trying to get the ratings. So yeah.
It's fantastic. I think it's, you guys, Fred told me that he uses oil of Olay. But you got to use it on your face and not your hands. You know what I'm saying, old Fred?
I got it.
Okay,
I got it.
You're looking pretty good there. It's just like,
Yeah, the oil of Olay, that beats me.
It's actually the Italian. It's actually the Italian that when you are Italian, so you have that Mediterranean thing. Both of us. Listen, I'm 61. You're 85. You don't look 85, right? So it's amazing.
My IQ is 85.
No, it's exactly. But also, are you Southern Italian? Are you Southern Italian? Are you Sicilian? What is your background?
No, I'm not Sicilian. My uncles are Sicilian.
No, but so that you do have Sicilian in the family, though.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. That
I absolutely do.
The Sicilian, though, they're not your regular Italians. They've been mixed with a lot of the Moors, the Arabs, that kind of thing. There's a different skin, the olive skin kind of thing, and that tends to last for a long time. So you actually look really good.
Well, my dad was adopted, so my mother's 100% Italian, And so my dad, we really don't know what my dad is. So, I was always like that bottle of Heinz, like 52 different shades or whatever it is.
Nice, right?
So, yeah, you like that. Some people go, hey, you Polish? I go, yeah, could be. They go, hey, you German? I go,
right?
yeah, could be.
Yeah, probably. Especially, and you're from the East Coast, right?
Yeah, I'm from the Midwest. Wisconsin, remember? Right alongside Minnesota.
Oh, right. I thought you were from the East Coast for
Boy, that Alzheimer's is kicking in.
Yeah, I know, ahead. Dude, right? Yeah. Dude, what show am I on? Exactly, right? Exactly. Oh, my God. Unbelievable. I thought you were from the East Coast originally, but no, you're from the Midwest, right?
Yeah, from the Midwest. I was born in Wisconsin, and I grew up quite a bit down in Chicago, on Cicero, Belmont, Cicero.
Right. That's amazing. So, you guys, you should actually someday just talk about your history, not so much your paintball history, but just your history, because Fred and I have talked about his background and everything like that, and it's super fascinating. He's just an amazing cat.
People wouldn't believe it, though. I had Tim Schloss. He put it the best. Tim says, Freddie, he goes, I don't believe half the stuff I see you do. So, you tell people about it. You think that you're blowing smoke up their butt just to make yourself look better. But I got to tell you, I've had a terrifically great life. And where I feel blessed more than anything is the friends that I've got. And you know where most of my terrific friends come from?
Paintball.
There you go.
Exactly.
Absolutely. So without paintball, I would not have the feeling that I have with the people, hanging around with Bill and Bud and Tim and Bill, jump in here. It's a good feeling. Am I right?
Yeah. Paintball's family. I look forward to every game that we all go to just because I know it's going to be pure chaos. Everybody's making fun of each other and everything. So.
Yeah, that's it. You like busting balls, and we do it.
All right, Bill. Now shut up. All right, now let's go back to the show. Oh.
Okay. Yep. There you go. You may continue.
So, Bill, let me ask you this though. I'm not a sports guy. I didn't know anything about zero. I knew nothing about paintball until 2008, until I started. When I got involved in the sport, especially here in LA, we have a big potpourri of, we have Mexicans and blacks, we have Filipinos, we have everybody playing the sport, right? We have gang members, we have it's crazy, right? Okay. When I started playing the sport and realized that we were just all hanging out and having a great time, that nobody was like, yo, SA, what gang are you in? Nothing like that. It was just paintball, right? And as I started traveling the world, and you go, you know what? I probably would never be friends with this person outside of this environment. But paintball is this common denominator that we all have that just makes us instant friends. And it's done that. I have friends all over the world now from all my travels. And it's like, where else? Where else could you do this? You can't. I can't think of a situation where you could just, hang out with a Klans member in South Carolina, right? Or a Nazi in Germany, and they just love me. There's Nazis, whatever. Anyway, so what I'm saying is that I've met a lot of different people in my travels. I've met a lot of different people, and they know that I'm Jewish. I've met a lot of different people in my travels, and they don't. You know what? Everything just disappears, and paintball comes to the forefront. That's all we care about.
That's the format of paintball, though. That's what it does. That's why the whole thing, for the podcast is I try to bring people together. I mean, I can't tell you how many people. I'll give you the best example. I met Billy. Okay. Now, Tim Schloss and I go back 30 some years. He was my sponsor for Tiger Stripe for years. Now, I met Billy at the beginning of my comeback. Billy lives, 200 miles from Tim?
Yep.
Never knew Tim personally. Now, both these guys had fields back in the day. Billy still has his field. And, it's called Bailey's Battlefield. Yep. Get a chance, go play it.
Nice.
And it's up by where? Springfield?
Springfield, Missouri. It's one of those M states.
Now you confused David. Damn it.
I know. It's like, Springfield doesn't start with M.
He's like, and the first thing the word comes to him is money.
Yeah.
Money. You're still with us, aren't you, Dave? Dave.
Wait, I'm sorry.
Dave,
I was counting my money. I was counting. Yeah, it was like, oh,
I was going to change my name to that. I was going to be Count the Monet.
More came in. Yes, exactly. Oh well, what are you going to do?
Here 50% off, so
it's hard. Oh, hey, speaking of that, when they always say the Jewish guys are cheap. You ever heard that, right? But it's not our fault, because when we're 8 days old, we get 10% off. See, we get 10% off, right? Oh, oh, and the rabbi told my mom, "Hey, don't worry, this won't be long. Never mind, because he's this won't be. Never mind."
Oh, I got it,
dude. I'm telling you.
I didn't get it till I put all the little stickmen on the paper, and then it came to me right away. I'm going,
what are you talking about?
David's funny.
What are you talking about?
Well, no, you said it won't be long. I had to draw stickmen.
And listen, and the other thing is, I love Christmas. It's amazing, right? And I only listen to music that was written by Jews. Oh, that's all the Christmas songs. Oh, exactly, right? Dude, come on. It's a commercial endeavor. What do you think?
Yeah. The best one they did was Grandma got run over by a reindeer.
No, that's not really a. Yeah,
that's pretty Jewish song.
That's I'm into the classics. I'm into the
reindeer. That's a classic.
No, I'm into the
that goes back to the
Night
60s.
Yeah, I remember that. The same thing. I think the same guy who wrote Monster Mash wrote that one. Exactly.
That's one of my favorite songs.
I think it was
wait. Bill's lips are moving. What'd you say, Bill?
No, I said I think that was one of my neighbors that wrote that song.
Are you serious? Are you serious?
Oh yeah, a lot of songwriters come from Missouri. What's wrong with you, David?
I don't know.
You think they're all in L.A.?
Yes, we do have a monopoly on songwriters here. Yes.
Yeah, I know what you guys got a monopoly on.
But listen, Fred.
Yeah.
This whole thing about you being hacked and the whole thing, I think sometimes it's good to take a break. You know what I'm saying? I think it's good to get off the grid sometime, take a break, you know what I'm saying? Readjust, get back into it. And then when you finally do get back into it like you are, I mean, you're so enthusiastic. That just keeps the show going. You're just amazing.
Dave, I love you. I cannot wait till December 11th because, we're still talking about doing that cooking show with Bud. Matter of fact, I talked to Kathy, his wife, about it when we were in St. Louis.
So you know what? We should probably do something. I'm trying to think. My wife's leaving for Israel in November, December. We should probably do something. If you're already going to be down here.
Yeah, I'm going to be at Bud's place.
Right? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If you're going to be down here, maybe we can do something like the night before or something.
That would be cool. We could, I was thinking too, if we could find us a good video guy, we could just video it and then show it later on.
I think that'd be the best thing to do. If somebody wants to volunteer, they can just follow us around with a camera. We're going to be doing a cooking show, you guys. Bud's going to be talking to us about everything about all of the things he's into. I mean, this would be an amazing thing. So maybe if you know somebody. What about Freddy the ref? Is he still drinking?
He's in Hawaii.
Okay, all right. No, okay.
Hawaii?
No, Hawaii. I'm in Florida. I'm looking at Jessica Cortez. All I'm thinking is Hawaii. No, Freddy's in Florida. He's actually going to be at the NXL. He's coming up he's bringing his drone. He's a terrific drone guy. Oh,
nice.
Anyhow, he's gonna come up and film me walking around giving presents and stuff away to kids.
Nice. Very cool. So to one of the Facebook questions, no, I will not be at World Cup or I won't be at Fulda either. I'm not doing either of those this year. Even though I was looking forward to it, but we've got some other things that popped up. One of the Facebook users I'm reading over here, I just want to make sure that they didn't think we're leaving them out. But it was one of the questions. But
no, I leave nobody out. I want everybody to not just enjoy the show, but enjoy each other. And when you guys see other people on there, go ahead and friend them, talk to them a little bit. You guys must all have some kind of common goal because you're all watching the show. You're all watching us. So you must have some kind of common goal. Get to meet these guys and talk about it. Remember, make paintball bigger and better. All of us together do it.
Something I did a show during COVID. It was a kids show. Basically, I let the kids run the show. And what was really interesting about that is we had all these, and they were all paintball kids, and they all came on and they were all running the show. Well, we know what they did. They actually ended up making friends with each other. outside of this, they texted each other and stuff, and they wouldn't have done that normally if we wouldn't have got them all together. This is the cool thing about our medium, but this medium can also be a double-edged sword. If you use it like we are, where we're trying to grow our sport and make, connections between all the players, it's fantastic. I've seen other people use our medium and our paintball world to do the opposite, to be very to be negative and divisive and stuff like that.
They don't care about the sport then.
Yeah, you should think about that too. Just have a show on where a bunch of people can like get together and exchange, and then do a regional thing where like guy goes, I didn't know that you lived in Montana. Oh, there's another M. There you go. Yeah. There's another one. Montana. I'm running out of M states.
Oh, it's miserable.
Miserable.
All right, all right, guys, we've gone past our hour. So you know what? I got to tell you, David, thank you so much for coming back on.
Dude, you're a brother in arms, and dude, December is going to be fantastic with you coming down here. And also, wait. listen, you coming down here, and then if you guys can organize an event, I'll go up there, right?
Okay.
This will
be.
See
what we can do. Yeah, we'll see what we can do.
I've never been to Podesta's Field, so it'd be great.
Oh, it's great. It's Playland's pretty cool little place. So right in the middle of like a town too. It's kind of funny. All right, David, thank you so much. Hang on in the green room. I want to talk to you for a second. All right.
Bye, Bill.
See you, Dave.
Everybody, that was the great Reaper, David Justin. Billy, is he a good interview?
He's funny.
He is. He cracks me up. I just love the guy. He knows an awful lot. Oh yeah, absolutely. And what he is he's very articulate. He knows what to say and when to say, and it's pretty cool. Yeah. So, yeah, we should have jumped in a little more, Billy.
No need with that type of character. You could just. I have.
Yeah, him and I get rolling, boy. I got to tell you, it's almost embarrassing. So, all right, Billy. Well, let's say goodbye to everybody.
All right.
I got to kick this thing off here.
Yep. See you, everybody.
All right, everybody. It's Mr. William Bailey. He's my sidekick. I've had Billy on for a couple of years, except for the last 4 weeks. So, guys, everybody to watch tonight, and the people are going to watch this. I get most of my views tomorrow. It's really strange because I think it's a time frame that I'm on. Everybody's asleep, and overseas it's like 3:00 in the morning. So anyhow, I want to thank you all so very, very much for tuning back in. I'm looking forward to my show again next week. I'm looking forward to keep doing this. I'm looking forward to having David on again and being side by side with this guy, having him right here next to me talking. And we're going to do that December 11th. Put that on your calendar. You're going to want to see that. I mean, side by side, he's just funny as heck. That's all there is to it. So, like I say, remember, everybody, together we make paintball bigger and better. So let's all work together to better our sport, not knock it down, okay? So until next week, 7:00 Pacific time, on Facebook, on Flagpole Productions, please play hard, play safe, play fair, but get out there and play paintball. All right, now, take it easy.